What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to some more Littleroot Laddering. So we're continuing on with this new team sent in to us by Sebber. To read this excerpt from Sebber when he sent this in, he says, "First off, I want to thank Navier and Jay Bucci for helping me put this team together. So my run wasn't really impressive in the PokePod Cup 2, but I feel like this team was really solid. This team features Lugia, one of my favorite all-time Mons. With Calm Mind and Recover, it can wall special attackers and win in games pretty easily. Among Us has a long time been my favorite counter to TR. With Feeny dropping in popularity, it's even better. Ensign is here because it's Ensign. I found myself maxing it a lot when facing Calyrex Shadow. Interesting. Should definitely keep that in our back of our mind. Landorus is a pretty standard set. I found good use on Showdown, and Intimidate is always useful. Gastrodon has carried me big time versus Torn Ogre. I'm actually quite surprised it hasn't gotten a higher usage stat considering how popular the strat is. Yawn is always amazing and works very well on bulky teams like this. You just gotta keep it away from grass types. Makes sense. Rillaboom hasn't really impressed me in this format right now, but having access to Ensign and Lugia to be able to threaten away all the Rillabooms, and Landorus because we have Fly as well. Like, 3 counters to Rillaboom here means that Gastrodon should hopefully be able to come in unchecked and take over a game. And says, and last we have Regieleki. I cannot express my love for this Mon. It's a hybrid between the screen setter and offensive powerhouse we all know. Offers great speed control and adds to the bulkiness of the team. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the team, and even though I didn't do well in the PokePod, it brought me into Master Ball in no time, and 1500s, high 1500s on Showdown. So, I'm really excited to play with this. I think Lugia is really interesting right now in the format. I think with all the Kyogres running around, they can proc our policy with like Thunder or Ice Beam, depending on what they have. We have Calm Mind, so we can just bulk up in front of them as well. We can pair it next to Amoonguss, so we can Rage Powder plus Calm Mind, so we can go even bigger. Landorus has Swords Dance, Lumberries, seems pretty standard there. I'm really interested in trying this team out and seeing what we can actually do. The ladder has reset. It's officially the 2nd as of recording. So let's see. Let's get through all of this. Let's get into the ladder and see what we can do for game number 1 of the day. I'm excited. This team looks really cool on paper. Lugia is not a Mon I don't think I've played with at all. If I remember correctly, Carl took it when we went through all of the restricteds. So this is going to be my first game with it, not only for this season, but also like in general for Lugia. So really excited to see what we can do here. And first up on the day, we have a bunch of special attackers, so Lugia is going to look real good here. So we have Grimmsnarl, Solgaleo, most likely going to be weakness policy, Sucker Punch things there. They also have Spectre here, so they can Bulldoze, Tapu Fini, P2, and Galarian Moltres. So immediately, I really like Landorus. I have a feeling this is going to be Trick on the Grimmsnarl. Like, that just makes sense with this team composition. It could be Trick. I don't think you really want screens on this kind of team. You're already super bulky. So there's a good chance that we just don't enjoy our time here. I actually really like the idea of just like Amoonguss plus Landorus up front here with like Lugia and Regieleki in the end game. Eleki puts on a ton of pressure against Moltres, against Fini. Lugia can just sit here and Calm Mind all day if we really need to. Gastrodon's not really doing anything here. Granted, there is the Fini, but I think since we have Eleki as well, I don't really care about the Fini. So let's just get in, see what we can do. Turn that down so I can actually hear it, but you all can't. Let's see what we can do. It's going to be P2 Moltres. Interesting. I think I just like Spore plus Swords Dance here. I like the idea of Ooh, P2 with Regenerator could be nasty. Really glad they copied that and not my Intimidate. So we'll Spore the Moltres. I'm just going to go for a Swords Dance here. I think there's a non-zero chance that if Moltres maxes, we also max Landorus once we get to +2. I could see them attempting to set up Trick Room here, but in the face of Amoonguss, I don't really like that plan from our opponent. Also could be... I don't think Goggles Moltres is, like... I don't think that's something we really need to worry about here. Plus, like, I think Landorus can take a Max Darkness if they do target into that slot, and I just really want to put the Moltres to sleep here. So there's our Swords Dance. That's great. There's the Air Slash into Amoonguss. We take that like a champ. There's a Foul Play into Landorus. That's really, really painful. I'm not going to lie to y'all. And they are, in fact, Safety Goggles. Holy cow. Okay. Well, now we're going to Rage Powder. I kind of want to Rock Slide. I think there's a non-zero chance that they max Moltres here. So maybe I want to Fly. I don't hate flying here. If they do max the Moltres, we ignore their... Yeah, I think this is fine. I like flying into the Moltres here. No Dynamax from the Moltres, that's great. We're going to fly, so if they do target down that slot with the Moltres, I'm just going to go for Fiery Wrath. That's fine. Should not be enough to take out Amoonguss, even through the crit. There's the Foul Play. That might take us out. No, thank goodness. So now I'm going to switch into Lugia this turn. If they go for another, Fiery Wrath, they trigger our policy, which is great. If they go for... Like, this also gives us recovery on the P2. I mean, on the Amoonguss, thanks to Regenerator, so we can potentially preserve it for the end game here. And there's a Protect on the Moltres. Nice read. I wonder if they just target down our Landorus slot. Yep, there it is. That's fine. Completely fine by me, actually. What do we like? I could bring out Amoonguss. We go down to an Air Slash. I'm going to bring out Eliki, and I'm going to set up a Light Screen here, I think. I could try to Trick Room. I think I'm fine. I just like Calm Mind plus Light Screen this turn. If they want to trigger my policy, that sounds great, because we're going to be able to take a hit behind screens. So don't need to worry about that. Plus we have multi-scale, so like, Lugia is a very bulky boy. And Moltres is going to go for the double. That's fine. I wonder if they're just setting up Trick Room here. Now we have an insanely bulky boy. Yeah, there's the Trick Room. This is all fine in my opinion. Completely fine. Because now, I kind of wanted to set up another Calm Mind here. And go into Amoonguss. I want to preserve Eliki for the end game. And I don't think Amoonguss is going to be doing much anymore. And there's the Eerie Impulse. I don't really care about that. Especially once they proc my policy. There's the Air Slash into Lugia as well, doing approximately no damage. So now, I'm going to switch Amoonguss back out. If they want to Eerie Impulse me again, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm just stalling out Trick Room at this point, so that seems fine. And this is just going to recover even more HP on the Amoonguss slot. So I'm pretty okay with this. There's the Eerie Impulse once again. Lugia is now at -2. We're gonna go up to -1. Air Slash into Eliki. Also does approximately no damage. Two turns of Trick Room left. Well, I'm going to Calm Mind again. And I'm going to Thunderbolt this P2. I think they target the Lugia slot this turn. Sure. This is fine. I don't really care about these. They're going to pay off eventually. And like, opponents also just bulking up. I mean, they're not even bulking. They're just going for it. So now we're at -2. There's the Thunderbolt into P2. Does decent damage. Decent damage. We're at -2, but we're at +4. I think because we're at +4, I think it's fine to just continue to Calm Mind. And then I'm going to switch into Amoonguss again. I think what I need to have happen is I need, one, them to trigger my policy. And two, I kind of want to put this P2 to sleep. So we can actually get some boosts going. Yeah, they're going to Air Slash the Amoonguss slot. But we take that, so that's fine. Sure, light screen is off, and the dimensions go back to normal. So let's Calm Mind again. And I'm going to protect... No. Nope. I'm going to go into Eliki. I should have done this last turn. I should have done this and then put the P2 to sleep this turn. But instead, I'm a turn behind now because I wanted to come in with one turn of Trick Room left to be able to put them asleep on the turn that they, Trick Room expires. Leave him alone. Let's just crit. Yeah, let's just crit the P2. I think that's the way we settle this, is we just Aeroblast and crit it. That'll negate the drops from Eerie Impulse. No crit. Alright, well, they Trick Room. This is also fine. Because now... I feel like I haven't accomplished anything this game, and that's what's going to cost me. Like, I haven't done anything, and that feels really bad. Like, I need to crit this P2 to get rid of it, but now that Trick Room's back up, they're slower than me, so they're going to be able to take my Eliki out this turn. Yeah, I think I should have started attacking sooner, and that's what's going to cost me this game. Because, like, we have not done anything. And for this being a high crit move, we have not had the best of luck. And now we're going to lose a Mungus. And then we have a minus, what, 4 Lugia? Like, sure, we're bulked out to no other, but we haven't accomplished anything this game. Alright, P2's asleep. So no more eerie impulsing. So I think if we crit this turn, I think we're in this game. Maybe. I really don't think so. I think because we sat around and dirtled for so long and haven't accomplished anything, I don't think we can actually win this end game. Yeah, like, we're literally not doing anything. Because now they can just air slash my Lugia. Yeah, I don't think I've played this game good at all. Yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Our Lugia is at -6, and we have no way of dealing with anything anymore. Because they can just air slash me, so they never trigger my policy. And even if they do trigger my policy, it doesn't accomplish anything. I definitely misplayed this game by not taking care of this P2 sooner and just letting it sit here and annoy me to death, to put it simply. Like, I'm not going to make you all sit through this end game where I have 0% chance of winning. So, I need to, like, the downside to that game is not only did Trick Room go up, but, like, when it did, I didn't accomplish anything inside of Trick Room. Like, we saw everything here. Yeah, there is the Sucker Punch, there's the weakness policy, yep, pretty standard stuff. Saw all of that, yep. So, not really surprised by any of that. There, like, we saw the movesets of the Mons that were out. I did not play that game well at all. And I think that's what cost us. Is I did not prioritize taking out the P2 when I needed to. And that's what cost us. You know, they also were safety goggles Moltres, and I think had we got that Spore off on 1, I think we win that game as well, because then, like, we get our free Swords Dance up. Sure, they foul play me, but then I can put the P2 to sleep while I fly, and then, like, we're just in this game. They can't do anything, but I can't say I've ever seen Goggles Moltres until today, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Well, we got Solgaleo again. This time with Blacephalon, Salamence, Whimsicott, Urshifu, and Eliki. What do we like? What do we like? I don't really care for the Intimidators here. They don't really accomplish anything, seeing how their physical attackers are Solgaleo and Urshifu, both of which ignore Intimidate. Salamence could also be physical, but I don't think that's extremely likely. Let's see. Lugia seems great. Eliki seems pretty good as well, just being able to prevent damage coming out. Amoonguss can put things asleep. What if we do... Like, Amoonguss Gastrodon is really great because we can just put their entire team to sleep. I think it's Lugia plus Amoonguss up front here, with Eliki Gastrodon in the back. Could also be correct to bring Landorus over Gastrodon, and I actually think I'm going to do that, just because, like, we still have the immunity to Eliki on their end, and this gives us a like, potential switch in on, like, Max Quakes if they're trying to fire those off with Solgaleo here. Try to bulk up in front of Lapras. I mean, not Lapras, Lugia. Basically the same thing, right? Giant Mon that's extremely bulky that takes hits forever. Whimsicott, Salamence. Nothing immediately comes to mind as to what this duo is doing. I don't see any immediate combos. So I think my play, I don't really care about Calm Minding here. I just want to delete this the Salamence as quickly as possible. And could Rage Powder. I don't think it really does anything here. Could Spore the Salamence, but like again, I'm just going to be deleting it, and so then it's going to get redirected into Whimsicott, so that doesn't do anything. Sludge Bomb, like, could be good if they are going for Taunt here, which I could see. I also think Protect is just also fine, because if they, like, max and go for, like, Airstream into my Amoonguss, then we can switch out and recover all that back with Regenerator, potentially. Whereas if we switch, then something's just taking a hit here, and I don't think that's completely what we want. I would rather Amoonguss be the ones to take hits than our Mons in the back. Yeah, they are going to max. It looks like the Salamence. I'd be very, very surprised if this is Dynamax Whimsicott. Not something I've ever seen. I can't imagine that this also likes a Max Hailstorm from Lugia. We are a very bulky boy when it comes to all those things. So we can take hits for days. There's the Protect. Tailwind? Yep, okay. Airstream, so they can go even faster. Actually does a fair amount. Would have put us down to Sash had we not protected there. But, like, I don't really care about their speed here. The big thing I care about... Oh, it's Life Orb. Interesting. I just want to delete the Salamence. Which, I mean, that does a decent chunk. Break a potential Sash on the Whimsicott there. And I think they're just going to go for another Airstream, so I'm actually going to switch Amoonguss out into the Eliki. Airstream should be enough to take out Salamence, I would think. They also could Max Guard this turn, so I actually like going for Airstream into Whimsicott this turn, anticipating the Max Guard to waste a turn of our Dynamax, and then, like, taunting our Amoonguss slot. Trying to think of ways that Salamence could trigger our policy here on Lugia. I know it has access to, like, Ice Beam. I believe it gets... I'm actually curious. Here while I'm thinking about it. I was actually looking at Salamence. Yeah, there's the taunt. This is great. We want Sala. And there's the Airstream. That's also great. It's going to be into Lugia, but we take that well. And that definitely should be in Airstream range. Okay, there's the Whimsicott down. I'm interested in this Hail. Salamence should be faster than us. Yep. Just wanted to confirm that. Just like to confirm. They could have Quake off of Earthquake. They're going to bring out their own Eliki. Well, that's fine. I believe I like the play of hitting their Eliki and then going back into Amoonguss. Potentially sacking Amoonguss here for an Airstream. Could also switch in Landorus to hit the Intimidate on the Salamence and take the Electroweb coming out from the Eliki. But if they Electroweb us, then they lose their Eliki because of Hailstorm plus the weakness policy would be triggered. So that's fine. Eliki, come back. In comes Amoonguss. Please delete this. Yep, there's the max Quake. So it probably should have gone into Landorus, but this is fine. Like they're gonna get the special defense boost, which is whatever, honestly. There's the Electro Web. Thank you for the policy. Sure, drop my speed, that's fine. Puts Lugia back to neutral. And this is goodbye, Eliki. Oh, it's actually not. That's a... Oh, they have +1 from the Quake. I forgot they had Quake. So I think if I play this turn, I want to recover on Lugia, but I don't think I have a safe way of doing so. I think it's correct, though. I think it's... I want a Rage Powder, but then we're definitely losing Amoonguss. Whereas if I protect and they target the Amoonguss slot, we get our recover off. Because I don't think the Electro Web is going to be enough. I think protect is correct. But I think they also could target down the Lugia. Goodbye, Amoonguss. Thank you, man. You did your thing. Yep, there's the Hurricane. Definitely going to take us out. And now Lugia needs to be able to take a Electro Web. Come on, Lugia. I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself, though? No, it's going to be a Thunderbolt. I don't think we live a Thunderbolt. Oh, that's unfortunate. But I think we're set up here fine. I think we're fine. We bring out Eliki, we bring out Landorus. What is their last? Their Trick Room's over. Their Eliki's at +1 special defense. It is going to be Solgaleo. Okay. I don't hate this. I don't hate the position we're in. I think we can reasonably ignore the Eliki here. I want to set up a Reflect. And I kind of want a Swords Dance. Just because I want to be able to do as much damage to this Solgaleo as I possibly can. And I think I need to be able to Swords Dance to be able to one-shot this. Yeah, protect your Eliki. I really don't care about that. And they're going to Earthquake, presumably take out our Eliki. Oh, Reflects it actually enough to make us live. That's awesome. I'm going to Thunderbolt the Solgaleo. And I'm going to go for the Earthquake. We're going to 1000% lose our Eliki this turn. It's interesting that Solgaleo is faster than Landorus. But I'm glad we have Landorus in this endgame. Sunsteel Strike, I believe we resist that. I believe ground resist steel. Nope, that's fine though. There's the EQ. We actually take another one. We actually don't need to take another one. Cool. Awesome. GG. GG. I think it was correct to protect Amoonguss plus recover that turn. I think there's a non-zero chance that they hurricane the Amoonguss slot anyway. But I don't think it actually would have mattered. I think the correct play was switch in Eliki. Maybe I don't actually know what the optimal play there is. I think losing Amoonguss was necessary, but I wonder if we could have preserved Lugia somehow. Like, in the situation we were in, I don't think there was a way to preserve Lugia without switching it out and losing our weakness policy. Interesting. So we have Torn Ogre, but also Wheezing Gigas, backed up by Urshifu and Rillaboom here. So I really like Gastrodon. I like Eliki a lot. Lugia seems pretty decent. Amoonguss looks great. I like the Intimidators here, but both of them are weak to Kyogre, so I'm not a big fan of that. Plus, we need to be able to delete the Wheezing before we actually get to do our thing there. So I think the play is, I think Amoonguss actually is the best thing we could do up front here. And I like it next to Eliki, I think, with Lugia and Gastrodon in the back. Because they could potentially want to Max Quake my Eliki. I could switch into Lugia if this is insinuating that they have the Regigigas up front here, which I think is most likely. I think this is probably going to be Wheezing Gigas plus Torn Ogre in the back. They could bring Urshifu, but I don't think they're going to, based on the fact that we have Lugia. Like, I think Lugia is enough to scare off the other two of Urshifu and Rillaboom. So let's see. What do we got? It is going to be Gigas Wheezing. This is actually great. This is actually exactly what I wanted to see. So I'm just going to Spore the Gigas and set up a Reflect here. I think it's very important that we preserve Eliki, because otherwise we're going to be pretty weak to Torn Ogre in the end game here. So us getting to potentially waste their Dynamax here is fantastic for us. No Protect from the Wheezing. That's fine. There's our Reflect. There's a Hailstorm. Oh, Amoonguss. I think you're going down, buddy. I think you're going down to this Sludge Bomb. Toxic Spikes? Opponent, what year is this? What format is this? What are you doing over there, opponent? This is fine. We can switch into Lugia, and we can go for... I kind of want an Electro Web. Like I said, I really need to preserve Eliki. We could also just set up Light Screen. Could Thunderbolt down the Wheezing. I think the Wheezing protects this turn, so I like going for Electro Web to slow down the Gigas. So the play here is bring in Lugia, and then we can switch back in Amoonguss and absorb the Toxic Spikes. No Protect from the Wheezing. That's fine. Drop their speed. First turn of sleep for Gigas. There's the old Razzle Dazzle. Now I'm going to switch Eliki out. And I get Icy Wind to continue to lower their speed. Could recover here in case Gigas wakes up. I don't think that's very likely though, so kind of want to Calm Mind and go into Among Us. Because they shut off our generator, like we don't get that recovery on the switch out there. So we're going to lose Among Us to Hail this turn. No Protect again. Really need Gigas to stay asleep this turn. Okay. The old Razzle Dazzle. That's fine. Because we have effectively wasted their Dynamax. And now we can bring in Eliki. I actually think we're set up for Torn Ogre in the back extremely well now. But I want to take this this Gigas out as soon as possible now because it could be waking up anytime. So I think the play this turn is to recover. How many turns of... 2 turns of Reflect left. Could just Thunderbolt down the Weezing. I think they attack this turn. They haven't shown us Protect, so there's a non-zero chance that they don't even have it. If Giga stays asleep this turn, I think we're in a very winning position. Like, they're 50-50 for them to wake up this turn. Giga stays asleep. That's fantastic. They're going to reset up Toxic Spikes, but I really don't care about that opponent. The Hail is really unfortunate because it breaks our multi-scale. I think the play now... Gigas is guaranteed to wake up this turn. I can Airstream into Weezing. That'll hopefully take it out before Gigas wakes up. I think if we double into Weezing and they don't Protect, I think we win this turn, basically. Because it doesn't really matter what they bring out. There's a very big Lugia. Dang it! Dang it, dang it, dang it. The one time we need them not to Protect, and they do. Yeah, even at +1, not enough to take the Weezing out. But that's fine, because they're going to wake up, and they're going to Thunder Punch my Lugia to give me my +2. So now we're at +3 special attack, +1 special defense. So, thanks, opponent. I really appreciate that. And the Hail's over now. Like, our Reflect's over, but I don't really care. We'll attack into Gigas. We will Thunderbolt the Weezing. And this hopefully is a clean double KO this turn. Yep, there's the KO there. And now they bring... I'm assuming they're going to bring in Torn Ogre at the same time. But this is actually fine because not only does slow start trigger, so like I actually kind of don't want to take the Gigas out here, but we do. That's fine. But now even if they Tailwind, Eliki is faster because we have +2 speed on it. So show me Torn Ogre. There's the Kyogre. And there's the Tornadus. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful end game here for us. I'm going to Hailstorm the Tornadus. I am going to Thunderbolt the Kyogre. This is going to, 1, get rid of the rain. 2, put on a ton of damage here onto the Kyogre. So Water Spout's not going to do a ton. In fact, it's just going to one-shot it. Nice crit, Eliki. Coming in clutch, my dude. I forgot we didn't have Transistor through all that. Opponent concurs that this game is over. Yep. It is actually over that turn. Getting those speed boosts on Eliki was really important, to be honest with you. It just made it so that we outsped through their Tailwind. Did not care about what they were doing. Really interesting team from our opponent. I really like their composition here. Really like their configuration. I wanted to look at their team, but there it is. Okay. Metronome Rillaboom. Holy cow. Like, you're just clicking Grassy Glide over and over, so why not? That's sick. AV Kyogre did not matter. We crit through it. Interesting. Focus Sash Tornadus. They did have Taunt and Icy Wind. Not really surprised by that. Pretty standard. Max speed, max special attack. Opponent, you are a neutral nature, so if you do end up watching this for some reason, please fix your nature on your Tornadus. Black Sledge Wheezing. Will-O-Wisp Toxic Spikes. Just wild team. They did, in fact, have the Max Quake as well. I'm really surprised they didn't fire out the Max Quake into Eliki on 1. I think had they done that, we might have lost that game. Choice Band Urshifu. Yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, the Metronome Rillaboom is really sick. I actually like that a lot, but let's throw up this rental code one more time here at the end of the show. Make sure you pick this team up while it's still available. It's been fun. Definitely been a fun set of games today. After that first game of not really doing anything for about 10 minutes, the team came out and definitely got to show off some true colors. So thank you so much, Sebber, Jay Bucci, and Navier for putting this team together for us. Make sure you check it out. It's been fun. Really excited to play this the rest of the week as well. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and we'll be back this week with some more Littleroot Laddering. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.